live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Love Policy Radio.
The Film Review, movie, music, culture, politics, society, podcast, interviews, movie reviews, and live Sundays at 5:30 p.m. Facebook at Chris Don Dion.
Hey everybody, this is Lizelle, the original bad girl of comedy. I'm here at the Lee Promenade in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and you're watching the Film Review.
What's going on, people?
Hey, how you doing?
It's another great episode of the Film Review. Movie, music, culture, politics, and society. And do we have a great one for you today? I don't know what's going on with this. Can we change this up here? Oh, wow. Look at this. This is the wrong label, but this is the 90th episode of the Film Review on movies, music, culture, politics, and society podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Crazy D, and we review movies, music, culture, politics, and society. And do we have a great show for you today? Our guest that's coming on very shortly is Keith Lea from Stockton, California. He is a not just up and coming, but an established independent filmmaker, director, writer, and we're going to talk to him about his career, his new web series on Amazon, and his previous films. And we're going to be reviewing tonight the film called Greedy, right? That he put together with Black Market Records. We'll be talking all that with him. But first, let's get to the how your week was. How was your week?
It was good, other than fighting the cold.
Other than fighting a cold. And how did that come from? Oh, that's, hey, it's hard out here in Las Vegas because, they have this thing. They have this thing called desert fever, and if you're not careful, and you're sucking it up without a mask on, you may catch it, and that cough lasts from whenever you catch it until April. That's right. So let's go to what's happening in the blurbs real quick before we start with our guest, right? So blurbs, Harvey Weinstein has a tentative $25 million settlement, right, with his accuser. Meanwhile,
Bill Cosby's behind bars.
yeah, Bill Cosby is in prison, and R. Kelly is in jail,
Right.
awaiting possible prison. How about that? How about that for a juxtaposition of power structure?
Yeah, but
Just a little bit faster, huh?
yeah, why don't you just turn the volume down off of that so you could just hear that from the phone? Like play the video, but then turn the volume down.
Oh, excellent. After you on a breakfast.
He said that the reason that Cosby, besides trying to buy him, is the Cosby purchased land. I believe it's
But
Carolina. And underneath the land, they found out that a company discovered their large
do you want me to tell you the people who said hi?
shells, all that.
Oh, Maria J. Wright said hey. Sheldon Stallworth on here. Malika said hello. Lissy Pop, Stacy Spencer, Missy East is on here. He said, my bro stay working motivation and kept liking it. Tamika Maddox Harris said, hey Keith. Yeah.
So that would be the reason why they didn't put prison is you think it's still an allegation with no proof.
Who's on here?
This is something I've heard of. I don't know if I'm
You know how to turn your phone up?
They can call in.
like American history.
American history.
Innocent, like men and women going to jail for crimes that they did not commit. Such, people who look at Ava DuVernay's film on Netflix, when they see it,
Zelenia is on here.
Central Park 5, but now it's Exonerated 5.
That's right.
So, right.
It's just crazy. All right. So that was Blur for
Zelenia is on here.
today.
Somebody named Zelenia.
Zelenia?
Zelenia.
Zelenia? Oh, what's up?
Music review show that dropped Tuesday, December 15th. We're going to talk about that after we go through this. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we are getting ready to interview. He's on the line, right? We're getting ready to interview Keith Lea, a.k.a. Mitty, right? He was inspired early on by Spike Lee. She's Got to Have It, and Maddie Rich is straight out of Brooklyn.
Do you want that?
Now, She's Got to Have It came out in 1986. We're talking about the original people, the one in black and white,
Victor Jackson's on here.
right? And we're talking about Maddie Rich, straight out of Brooklyn, 1991. Maddie Rich was the one actually that Spike Lee had a disagreement with because he said that Maddie Rich said you didn't really need to go to college, to film school, to learn how to do film.
Victor Jackson say hey cuz.
He's a self-taught. He was self-taught initially. Keith Lea was. He read how-to books on script writing and filmmaking. He later went to San Francisco City College to take courses on filmmaking. We're talking about none other than Keith Lea, director of Greedy and much more. How you doing, Keith? Are you on the line?
Yes, sir. I'm here, my brother. I'm here. Hey, thank you. It's a blessing to be talking to both of you guys, and I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Okay, so there was a call that had come in, but we're on our intro game and we're talking to you. But 213-943-3358. Make sure you stay on the line. We will answer your call. So right now we're talking to Keith Lea about his experiences as an independent filmmaker, director, writer of film. Right? So how you doing this evening?
Hey, brother, I'm feeling great now. I'm feeling great now that I'm talking to you guys.
All right. So let's go back a little bit. Let's get some context before we move forward and talk about your new ventures going on, right?
Right.
So you were born and raised in Northern California, which would be Stockton, California. Am I right about that?
Yes. Stockton. Yes. Northern Cali. Yes.
Okay, so the film Greedy, which we're going to be reviewing tonight, it's set in Sacramento, California, which is about 47 minutes away from Stockton, California.
Yes.
What was, so we're going to go back to your youth and coming up into your teens.
Okay.
What was Stockton and Sacramento, California like when you were growing up?
Oh wow! When I was a kid, it was lovely. It was lovely. It was a black community. I mean, we have the first black school teacher lived here, lived across the street from me on Washington Street. We have people that were becoming lawyers and basketball players. I mean, it was a thriving community of black people back in the day when I was growing up. I mean, it was just a happy place in Stockton. But like everybody else, times had changed later on, but it got difficult later on. But growing up here, Stockton was a lovely place to be at. That's for sure. But
what age were you when the situation changed, and how similar is it to the Southern California experience in LA and Compton? That experience very similar.
yeah, it's exactly the same. We're kind of influenced by the Bay Area and influenced by by Southern California. We have like both of their styles and kind of here and their culture here, because we're like in between. One highway just takes us to Frisco, and one highway takes us to Southern California. So we get a lot of their culture and mixed up with ours. Because when I was growing up, it was kind of like it was a happy place, but like everybody know, things change. And my dad's kind of like he joined the army for a few years to try to get away from here, but we did that move, and when we came back, it was like kind of like a change here, because the drugs had kind of messed it up here for us and everything, and the gang violence and the activity, it changed over because of drugs. I mean, everybody knows about the crack era and stuff like that, because I was even influenced. I was an active Crip at the time, wasn't thinking about anything else in the streets. I mean, we had a gang of people from LA move down to Southern California, and that's how we got the Crips and Bloods down here in Northern California. Because some of them, when they get locked up and they have to come to the penitentiary down here. So they get sent down to Tracy, and then a lot of that. So we get mixed up with a lot of different people back in the day. So when the drugs came, it put a dent in our community down here with the black people that did come from the South, the ones that came from Texas. Like my family came from Texas. My great-grandfather came here from Texas, and they came from Arkansas, and they built their own houses here. At first, they was changing. It was a thriving community here, but we lost a lot out because of the crack era, and a lot of people that was becoming what they were supposed to become couldn't become that. So when the old elders got older, they had left their houses to them. In the crack era, they left their houses to them, so they ended up selling their houses to grandkids that they left their houses to, because they didn't know to hold on to property. So we started losing a lot of property down here in Stockton, and a lot of family members started selling out here, and that's kind of like what happened here. It changed here a lot because of the drugs, and that's how it kind of like it kind of messed us up here. So it left a lot of people who had dreams. Yeah, they couldn't follow their dreams here. We're just now rebounding after years and years of that depression that went on, because you got a lot of kids that had grew up, and their mom, because of the crack era, their moms was on drugs. So what happened with that, the kids was on drugs, and nobody knows why they're ending in gangs and violence. It's because their moms and kids, some of these kids were crack babies and all that stuff. So the violence kept on going around here, so it just kept going. But we tried to change it after a while. It slowed down, because after a while everybody started, we changed because it wasn't really like killing going on. It was too many black people dying down here in Stockton. It was a lot, and a lot of people going to jail, and people kind of like figured it out. It's dying down now, just now dying down now. People kind of figuring it out that that's not the way out, and that's not the way to hustle, and the penitentiary is wrong for you, and it's just a lot of change. It's a lot of good changes going on right now. But back in the day, it was all wrong, because we was influenced by gang culture, especially gang culture here in Stockton. It was real bad. I mean, sometimes you couldn't even go outside to the store because you had the wrong color on or something, or you knew somebody was coming. But that was years ago. And then a lot of those were like, a lot of people that was leaders in those gangs went to the penitentiary, and so there's no way to give no more guidance to the young people to look up to. So right now, everybody's starting back over. We're trying to do non-profits now and stuff, and get the kids not to go the direction that we was going, the ones that was left. So the best thing to do now is start with the youth right now, because they're the only ones that's coming up now. It's a whole different ball game where we are. Now it's time to own your own business and get started. Even if you got to own a t-shirt shop, get that. It's better than being out there in the street and hustling and stuff. It's time to make changes right now. So over the years, it had we just kept going on, but we started making changes eventually after a while. I mean, because like Sacramento, they're kind of like Sacramento because they have the same cultural ties too. They're just like the Bay, but we're not the Bay. We're the Valley though. We're separated, but we still influence. We like the music. We got the whole culture of the Bay is here in Stockton. So it's like a gumbo here in Stockton right now. I mean, it's like we don't have no. I mean, not like I would say it's a place for minorities. It really is. If you could just come here and live, Stockton used to be a place for farming and agriculture. We're like the #1 agricultural place here right now in Stockton. So and we feed millions and millions of people. But right now, our rent went up right now because the Bay Area rent went up. So right now we're like the #1 place whose rent increased in the United States. We went up like 20% because the houses were so cheap here and people didn't know it. Like when the bankruptcy came on, they had big old buses riding around Stockton showing the whole neighborhoods that was empty and people was living in abandoned houses. I mean, there was so many abandoned houses in Stockton, it was crazy. But they're just now getting over that, over the bankruptcy.
So Stockton is like a victim of what was happening during the nadir when they were making sure that black people did not own property.
Yes.
And it's trying to reverse it back, like how the housing crisis happened and President Obama was in office and only the rich were able to recover and black people continue to lose their houses, which in most cases are our economic backbone is the property that we own, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right. So let's move. That is great information for people to know, great knowledge on Stockton, California, San Francisco, because it's about maybe 47-50 minutes away.
Yes.
And then maybe San Francisco is about an hour away from Sacramento, and Sacramento being 47 minutes, so it's like a triangle situation.
Exactly.
What's the music scene like? What was the music scene like back in the time when you first were interested in making film? I know as far as black market was concerned, they had Brother Lynch, X-Rated.
Yes. Yeah.
Did the hyphy movement from the Bay affect the way music was produced in Stockton, California?
Yeah, it was because the hyphy movement had took over in the Bay, and since we're the Valley, we couldn't actually use that because we get talked about because we saying we're going hyphy, but we did the hyphy things. We wore the shirts, we had the hyphy trains, but we didn't do the hyphy music here because that was a Bay Area thing. And if you would have got on there talking about hyphy and you from the Valley, then people would have got on your helmet out here and been like, "Oh, you're not original," because that's not what we are. You could say the hyphy, but we wasn't doing not musically. Nobody here in Stockton was putting out songs like that because that was a whole Bay Area movement. But we were down with that movement because it was so big. It was so big that everybody felt it. It was like the hyphy movement was a good feeling for everybody. Everybody could dance and feel the music. It was a good time for that period. But we definitely got all of. We used to have train cars riding through the whole Stockton, like 15, 16 cars riding through back to back when the hyphy movement was going on. People getting out, ghost riding the whip. It definitely affected us. We caught that. So yeah, we caught that. Made us go to the side shows down here in Oakland. So we leave from here and go down. People down here and go to the side shows just to see the hyphy movement because it was big. Before Little John, they did their thing on that. Even though it kind of came from Mac Dre, but they did their thing though. But yeah, it affected us though, in a good way.
One of the artists that before being that you're here, we need to get this information out to the people who are into music also. One of the artists is really, because we come from Cleveland, Ohio originally, and we owned the record for 15 years, and one of the artists that really made an impact from Sacramento, from Sacktown, was Brother Lynch.
Yes, Brother Lynch.
His horror and his movie, Now Eat.
Yes.
Talked about that during Halloween. People see that.
Yes.
See a lot of
Yes.
What was your experience like being an intern? First, you went to the library, you picked up,
Yes.
you read on how to do it, and then you became an intern. What was for the up-and-coming filmmaker out there, what was your experience like being on Panther, directed by Mario Van Peebles, as an intern? And so I married an axe murderer starring Mike Myers. What was your experience like, and what can you tell the people what you learned?
Oh, what I learned is you have to be consistent, you have to stay sharp, and you have to stay focused when you get on there, because you're working for free, but you're working on $1 million a set and stuff. And you want to be able to move up, because I worked for another film company called, they was making a movie called The Tenderloin. And I was working for this lady on The Tenderloin. My first job when I got there, she was like, could you go get me some coffee? And I was like, I'm not thinking. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll go get you some coffee. Then she wrote it down on a piece of paper and told me it was some special coffee way on the other side of San Francisco. So I hurried up and got in my car, went and got it, came back quick and gave it to her quick. She was happy. So then they gave me, just for that, then that's when, because at first you're picking up paper when you're a PA. So then she gave me a walkie-talkie. So I had a walkie-talkie, but I kind of, when I was working on there, you have to stay focused, because I had a walkie-talkie on me, and there was a whole bunch of people in San Francisco, and a white guy walked up behind me, and I was doing traffic control, and he said, "Hey nigger, how you get this job?" I'm trying to stay focused. I just came from the streets. This is my first job. I'm knowing I could turn around and get on it. And then he said it again, "Hey nigger, how you get this job? You're not supposed to be working on no film set." So I just bit that, got on my walkie-talkie, called the head of the PAs, and he came down. I explained to the white guy what happened. He went off. He started yelling at the white dude, "You get up out of here. We don't be saying all that. You prejudiced." He wanted to fight. The white dude wanted to beat up the other white dude, because he felt disrespected by it too. So he sent him off. So you got to keep your composure too. And when I worked on the Mike Myers and the Panthers, you want to be able to try to read like the other people who work in there, the gaffers, the grips. If you can, watch the director, and sometimes listen if they give you a position in a job, pick up paper or move equipment. Sometimes there might be some cords on the ground or something, or apple box, and you hear somebody over there talking about they need the apple box, but they didn't ask you to get it. Go over there and get it and give it to them, and they'll think that you already knew. They'll think that you're perfect though, because you'll be giving them the things that they need because you're trying to move up. Like when I was doing the PA position, they hired me to go work on a commercial just because I worked hard and was fast and good for them on Mike Myers, so I ended up getting to go work on a commercial. So when you're working on $1 million a set, you got to just show up, try to be early for sure, and make sure you stay focused, because you're trying to move up from a PA position. And if you're trying to be the director, then if you're the PA, then try to watch the director, because I got hired on MC Hammer videos, Pumps in the Bump. I worked on Pumps in the Bump 1 and 2 in San Francisco. Well, not actually. He had a house outside of San Francisco, but more like towards the valley. And we worked on that because my friend named Marty Jones, he was working in L.A. at the time, but he would come down to the Bay Area and he would hire black people to work on sets, because he was working for Underdog Films at the time, and I was in a group in the Bay Area, and it was called Brotherhood, and I was only like 22, 21 then, and I was the youngest one in the group. And what the group was about, it was about 10 filmmakers from the whole Bay Area who were in the union, and it was only 10 people in the whole Bay Area that was in the union, so we couldn't get jobs in San Francisco, the Bay Area, so they would come down from LA, come to the meeting and tell us, "Hey, this is coming up, and this is coming up if you brothers want to try to work on it and stuff," because they was connected with the Oakland Film Commissioner named Jeannie Ruckert, the black lady named Jeannie Ruckert at the time. She used to be the Oakland Film Commissioner and stuff, and then that's how the Panthers got to Oakland and to make the movie there with Mario Van Peebles. And you have to try to work hard and listen to people and learn about the connections, because you have to know where you want to go in life. If you're really trying to do this, you really got to watch, because it's levels to this, and it's not just where you want to be at. Because pretty sure everybody's dream is probably to write, direct, have their own movie out. But you have to watch people too to learn, to be able to watch. The guerrilla filmmaking is a lot better to me when you're hands-on out there. But yeah, that's how I got to work on the PA, bro. I was watching hard because I wanted to be a director myself, and I couldn't. I didn't have the equipment. At the time, they was filming in 16 millimeter. You had to buy film. I couldn't afford film. All I knew how to do was slice and edit on a Super 8. I could slice and edit a 16, but I didn't have the money to go out there to get me a Niagara recorder or anything that I needed, because when I was in class in San Francisco, I was the only black person in class. There wasn't any other people up in class with me, and that was kind of weird to me. So I was the only one at that time. I was telling everybody that I'm gonna make a movie. But we were still in class though. But I was going out on my way in San Francisco trying to meet different people, and they had hooked me up with a guy named Armand Garrett in San Francisco, and he hooked me up with a guy named Otis Best. So we met Otis Best, and from Otis Best, they hooked me up with Marty Jones. And right now, Marty Jones, he's head of a film company in Austin, Texas right now. He's the same one who did Underdogs Films for me about 20 years ago. He hired me for videos. He did a lot of videos for Tupac. He did a lot of videos for a lot of people. But Marty Jones, yeah, he was the one that was instrumental to getting us jobs in the Bay Area. So you have to get a connection just to even be a PA. After a while, people have to know that you're a good person, and you're going to work, because you're going to work from night to day. You're definitely going to be working. And if you want to do craft services, then watch the craft service person. They even get paid a lot of money. I mean, we had a shoot, and they was paying us, we was getting paid like $150 a day for doing PA. But it was all turned out fine though. But I wish back then that I would have been directing back then, but it didn't happen until 10 years later after that, because I was still pushing and still, yeah.
This right here is invaluable information. Like, you're telling them that they have to be on time, which is if you're on time, you're late. That means you got to be early. Early is on
Yes.
time.
Yes.
That's real good information to talk about what a PA does, the production assistant running around, going all the way over to the other side of the valley, coming back, bringing what the people want, being willing to go pick up the stuff on set that someone says, I need that apple box, no one else is moving. And that's exactly what they teach you when you're on set, and that's how you advance up. So, let's shift gears now. So you moved out of being an intern on a set, you advanced up, and then you began to advance to get your own equipment to shoot. What was it, and you started writing the script. What is it like shopping or pitching script in Hollywood for the young filmmaker?
Well, I never pitched, but shopping your script around without an agent or a manager, you have to become that yourself. Because I moved to Hollywood. I lived in Hollywood for 2 years just to learn that machine. It's a machine, and it's a real game. And you can't go there thinking that you're going to win off the bat, because Hollywood will eat you up and spit you out. It doesn't to everybody every day. So you have to have your game plan before you even get to Hollywood to live. You have to write down your goals, what you're going to do. Then you have to have a list of contacts, who you're going to hit, who you're going to go talk to. Just don't go there blind. Don't go to Hollywood blindfolded and thinking that, oh, I'm just going to show up and go here and they're going to accept me. No, you have to have, what I had was targets. I had different people that I was going to go see. I wanted to go talk to, at the time, when I went, I had just finished the movie Greedy when I had moved out there. So I had something to carry with me. I had a product. So it wasn't like I was just out there. But what I had to do, nobody knows you. You got a product, but nobody knows you. And all of the offices and stuff, they don't have the names on it. They're not going to say this is the agent office or this is this office. So what I did was I was walking around reading the books, and they have books in 7-Eleven that tell you can buy a book in 7-Eleven, tells you all the companies, all the agents, all of that stuff, and production companies. And I think at the time they had one on, what was that? At the time, I was on Hollywood Boulevard, and I was talking to some guy. He said, "Yeah, Robbie Reed's office is right there, the casting agent." And I was like, "Robbie Reed? What do you mean, Robbie Reed?" So I went in there, and I just I was talking. I was like, "Yeah, I lied. I said, yeah, I'm supposed to be here to talk to Robbie Reed, somebody." And they was like, "Okay, hold on." And another guy came out. And he was like, "What are you here for?" And I was like, "I'm supposed to give them my movie." And he was like, "Okay, I'm a manager." So he said, "All right, come in the office, talk to me." And I explained to him what I was there for. So the guy named was Anthony Short. He had picked me up. From there, Anthony Short, he wanted to be my manager. He was in the same thing with office with Robbie Reed. She had did Soul Food and she did a lot of casting for a lot of black movies. Robbie Reed. She did, and I just ended up in her office, and it was a manager in her office. So that's how I got to connect and started learning about how Hollywood worked. And at the time, I had wrote another movie script, and the guy Anthony Short was my manager, and he was trying to shop it around and stuff. But you have to have tough nerves, and you have to be able to read people too, because sometimes people will want to pick you up, and they're not good for you to be a manager. They'll just want to pick you up to say they have you while they're trying to do other things. So after that, I was basically looking around and shopping, and what happened was I was sneaking into buildings. I would go and dress up like as if I was a male person. I put on me a white t-shirt and a hat. I'm dropping off, I package it up. You have to have a packet too when you're in Hollywood. You have to have your poster, your movie, and your bio. You have to have like 5 different things in this packet that you're dropping off. You just can't drop your movie off like that. It has to be in a packet. And in that package you need your bio, you need a cover sheet, you need your movie in it, and that's what you drop off. So I was dropping it off at different places, and I dropped it off at one place, and the guy had told me that, "Hey, they're having a thing at USC. You should go there, and it's a panel, and they're gonna be talking, and they have the Hollywood Black Film Festival lady's gonna be there, Tanya Kersey, and such and such and such and such." So I went to that. I met Tanya Kersey at the Hollywood Black Film Festival. I told her what was going on. I told her I had a movie, Greedy. And she told me, "Well, why don't I send that movie in to them?" And then I sent the movie after meeting her and stuff, and I was on a panel at the San Francisco for the Pan-African American Film Festival. I ended up being on a panel at the Pan-African American Film Festival. And then from there, I got the hit after I met Tanya Kersey and sent it in for the Hollywood Black Film Festival. They accepted it, so I got accepted to the Hollywood Black Film Festival. And from there, I met another guy. I met a guy named Jock Telefero, and he was at the film festival at San Francisco. But I knew Jock from years before that, from being an intern in PA and working in San Francisco. But this time, Jock has moved up, and Jock is a part of a group that's putting on the Cannes Film Festival now. So Jock tells me that he's working for the group, and he's going to be with the Cannes Film Festival. And do I want to try to come to the Cannes Film Festival and see if my movie gets accepted for that? He can try to help me get in. So I gave it to Jock, and we all in LA. And Jock turned around and got it to be in the Cannes Film Festival, serving a part of it that was for the African diaspora. So they had that just for like independent filmmakers. But it was a part of the film festival, and it was on the beach, and Danny Glover was there, Lynn Winfield. It was a lot of black people that was there. They was trying to help independence. But this is before online, so we're out there like we're not really used to what's going on. We're seeing all of these rich people and all of that, and we're trying to figure out our way. It's like we just got thrown into something bigger than what we even was ready for. We didn't even. My guy that was running the stuff that I had made the movie for, he didn't make no flyers, no cards, no nothing, because when you at the Cannes Film Festival, you have to hustle to everybody. Try to give your card to somebody, because you don't know who is who. The person in the bathroom in the stall might be somebody, because everybody's walking around, and you have a lot of people that want to buy films and all that stuff. And it was, so I got an award with Danny Glover on the beach when I was out there. We was out there for like about 10 days in Cannes, and it was a great experience, because you got to see how movies with money really work, because their billboards that they had there was like 2-3 stories tall for their movies and stuff, and then they had actors that was out there that was looking like the real actors in the movie, and they was playing out the parts, and they had all of this stuff going on just for their movie. So you could see they had Alicia Keys playing on a yacht out there. You could have went and did that. They had all of these different things, and this is I went like 15 years ago to the Cannes Film Festival, and our movie played out there. It played for you know, the Europeans, the Africans, and all of that. And but we have to remember this time the movie we had made, we made it with DVD. We shot on DVD, but the story was good, kind of, so they accepted it. But we shot on DVD. So at this time, there's really just trying to get a distribution deal for real instead of the way it is now. You're trying to get a distribution deal. And Black Market, the head of Black Market, Cedric Singleton, he didn't want to take none of those deals, because when I was over there, I met, you heard of Maverick Films? Doug Schwab? Yeah, I met Doug Schwab over there in Europe. They told me to call him when we got back from France. So I called Doug Schwab when we get back, and I don't really know who he is. And he tells me to meet him in Santa Barbara and all. And so I go to Santa Barbara, and we meet at this hotel, and he brings out this big old notebook, and he opens the book, and it's black people. It's all movies, black people, Asians, the Mexicans, all independent movies. And he asked me the question about the movies, because he was trying to buy our movie that we had made, Greedy. He wanted to make a deal with Greedy, and he make a deal with the soundtrack, because we had E40, Lynch, we had all the big time people on that soundtrack, so he wanted the soundtrack too. So we're in Santa Barbara, and Doug Schwab, he looks at me and says, "You see all these movies right here? What do you think about them?" I said, "Man, it look like you got a good catalog to me." He was like, "No, I own all of them." I said, "You own all of them?"
Oh.
He said, "Yeah, we don't give percentage. We don't give points. I buy movies for 20,000 and 30,000. I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, we're offering you guys 70,000. I said, "With no back points and no percentage." "No, but we'll give you, to be the highest one right now, we'll give you 70,000. So I can't take nothing, because it's not my movie. I'm just the writer and director." So I pulled Cedric Singleton in, the head of Black Market. He don't take the deal because he knows that the internet is going to be coming, so he's not going to just take the upfront money. Because right now, the whole industry is in limbo. Nobody knows what they're going to be doing right now, because the internet is happening. Everybody's getting ripped off. Everybody's scared of Napster, and everything that's going on at this time. But a lot of people sold their souls and sold their movies and don't get no percentage. So it's like Maverick Films. I mean, they cool, but your back points and your percentage. And
this is information that you're putting out there for the people. That's just experiences and being able to put it across. So Cedric Singleton, CEO of Black Market Records, has such acts as 187, Big Lurch, Brother Lynch, Debo, X-Rated, Triple B, etc.
yeah.
What was that pitch like when you went to him to say, you had come back from Hollywood and you met with him and you sat down and you said, "I want to tell this semi-autobiographical story of my life." What was that pitch like, and what made him accept the story that you would tell?
Oh, what happened was, with Sid, I was in San Francisco still, and it was like how I got into filmmaking, because I got into filmmaking because I've been shot twice. My brother had got killed, and that's why I was tired of Stockton and tired of the streets and stuff, and that's how I seen Matty Rich. I had already knew about Spike Lee back in the day, about being a filmmaker, but I seen Matty Rich on TV, and he said how it could be done. He was trying to raise $100,000 himself, so that's when I really knew that it could be done. It clicked with me, because I wanted to do it when Spike Lee had did it, but I didn't know how Spike Lee had did it, because we had seen She's Gotta Have It, and we were amazed by that. I seen She's Gotta Have It in Germany, and was amazed by that. So after a while, I did all that stuff in San Francisco, and I came back to Stockton. And at this time, there's no movie theater here. There's nothing here. It's like a dark place in Stockton at this time. I mean, gangbang was active live here. And what happened was, with Cedric, I had been listening to Black Market Records. I love Black Market Records. I never even imagined that I'd make a movie for them. I wasn't never had thought that in years because I was in the streets and stopped the streets and went to pick PA in and picking up paper and doing all that to come back to work for the company that I had liked before because of all the people that he had because he had Lynch. So everybody loved it, and it was from Northern Cali. So I came back to Stockton and said Black Market, they were doing a tour, but they did the tour in the east side on the east side of Stockton, and that's my neighborhood on the east side of Stockton. When he should have did it downtown because if you do something in the neighborhood, the other neighborhoods can't come to it, and he didn't know that. Somebody had gave him the wrong information, and they were doing it at my gym on the east side of Stockton. They were doing it at the gym, so the only people that could really come was like my neighborhood, the hood. So we hear that he's doing it. We didn't believe that he was going to be at the gym anyway, that they're really going to be at the gym performing and stuff. So we go there, and he was there. Yep. So I started I seen, and I talked to this other guy. And he was telling me, yeah, that's Sid right there. He's the owner of Black Market. Go, if you want to talk to him, that's who you go talk to. So I went to Sid and I was like, what's up, Sid? My name is Keith. I make movies. I'm a filmmaker. But I hadn't had any movies at the time. I just I had some scripts and had some Super 8 footage of films that I had made and stuff, but nothing of my own. But I told him I could make movies and I knew what I could do. And I asked him, why didn't Black Market Records have a movie? You guys need a movie. You got to go forward. And I was like, that's the new thing. Let's make it happen. But he looked at me, said, all right, and gave me gave me his phone number, and told me to call him the next day. So I called him the next day, and he told me to come to Sacramento to Power Inn Road. And I go to Power Inn Road, and it's Black Market Records. They got posters everywhere. I'm in the company now. So I'm down there talking, and I'm downstairs, and Sid's upstairs, and all these people walk around, posters and CDs and Lynch posters everywhere, the vibe and the music. It was live. I'd never been in a record company before, and seeing how it was running. But it was running it right. He was doing everything independent. He had his own van, like 4, 5, 6 vans. He had everything independent. They talk about Master P, and they talk about all these other people, but they never mentioned Cedric Singleton's hustle. Because he's one of the greatest $1 million independent hustlers there is at this game. And so I meet him, and I'm telling him about, I want to make a movie and stuff, because Greedy is actually a story that me and one of the artists that was on the label by the name of Trapper came up with. Because Sid had said that I was supposed to make another movie for Sid, and I was supposed to be getting clearance on X-Rated. First, I was supposed to be doing a documentary on X-Rated, and I was trying to call all the penitentiaries, but they wouldn't let us film in there, so I told Sid, let's just make the movie then. So he said, okay, he wanted to make one for his artist by the name of Chopper, but I go talk to his artist Chopper and get something down and write the stuff down, and if I come back with the movie script, then we'll make the movie. So I went to talk to him, and he had a title of his album and stuff and some other things, and we went from there. So he gave me some feedback on what he wanted to do. I pushed it in what I thought should go on, and so I would drive back and forth all the time from Stockton to Sacramento, and we'd hash the story out and get it right. And I'd take his ideas and put them down for mine, and we hashing the whole story out over a few months. So I come back, but I have to come back and put the dialogue and put it in format and put everything that's down in structure, because it's just ideas at the time. So I do that, and I put it back, and I take it back to Sid, and I write the movie script, and Sid reads it, and Sid likes it. But I like that. A part that I didn't write was the part with the women in there. See, that's Cedric Singleton sitting down with the 2 women in the background. That part he wanted to write. Yeah, he wanted to have that in there of him. He wanted to be in the movie. So that's him, Cedric Singleton, of the CEO of Black Market Records. That's him sitting down with the 2 women. There was some strippers that he paid $500 each, and some film festivals wouldn't let me in because of that scene. Like in Atlanta, they was tripping, but now they letting everything in. But at that time they wouldn't. But we did a lot of film festivals, but I was still couldn't get into none of them. But down there at Black Market, when I was talking, okay, go ahead.
So what was that like doing independent? It took 2.5 years to finish the film.
Yes.
Tell the independent filmmakers that are coming out so that they won't get discouraged if their films take a while to get done. Tell them what the start and stop and situation like that was making a film.
Yeah. I mean, he was giving me, for Greedy, at that time, for some reason, he says the budget was $150,000 or $100,000, but to me, I seen all the equipment and all the stuff, but I don't know. He spent a lot of money on we had vans, and he was giving me like $10,000 checks, and I was going to take that to different people and stuff, and I didn't run off with none of the money, but he stopped because something was going on. He wouldn't even tell nobody. He would stop, and we would stop for like 3 or 4 months at a time. It took 2 years to finish Greedy, and when you have them, you have to remember that this is not an overnight game. It's called the wait and go game. The entertainment is the wait and go game, because you want it to go. Sometimes it's go, sometimes it's go, stop, go, stop, go. It's the wait and go game, people call it. And you have to, in that time, you have to remember you have downtime, and you have more time than you have money. So when you have downtime, you have to still remember to stay focused and keep the money you have. If you gotta go to the gym, then go to the gym, but always know that you're going to be able to be shooting and filming again, and you want to be able to have them scenes and everything and going over them. So when you do time to film, you on point. So in your downtime, you should be going over your script, going over in your head, thinking about the moves, the shots that you want to do when it's coming up, because now you have time. Don't think of it as you don't have no time and, oh, I gotta wait. No, you think of perfecting it even tighter now. Come up with other shots, come up with other moves. Make sure if you want to change the dialogue, but remember that you're going to be filming again, because it's definitely the wait and go game, and it can discourage you. It discourages everybody, because everybody wants it so bad. And that's not how it works. Even when you go to your independent movie set, sometimes you think that you want it to go this way. It's not going to go that way you want it to go when you show up. Somebody might have forgot a battery, a cord, or say the line wrong, or they're not feeling good, because you have to be a psychiatrist too when you're on set, because everybody has different moves and different swings, and everybody is different, and you have to manage that, and you have to be in control when you come back. You always have to be in control, because if you lose control, everybody else knows you lost control, and you lost control of the whole thing. So you have to stay focused, because you have that downtime when you're filming. You definitely have downtime.
Well, I can't believe that an hour has passed already. Right? We have
Wow.
minutes left. We go in and review the film. It's amazing, great information. Now, I want to also tell people that this man right here, in my estimation, in my opinion, is a hustler, okay? Because he's not a hustler, H-U-S-S-L-E, like hustle during the dance. He's a hustler, H-U-S-T-L-E-R, hustler, because he is right now broadcasting at the same time we're broadcasting on Facebook. He's got his camera set up. That's one. Two, he knows how to cross-market. And for those who don't know what cross-marketing is, I'm not going to tell you. You just have to go back and look on the Facebook page and the Instagram pages and the Twitter pages, and look at how he did this leading up to his appearance on the show, and you will understand what cross-marketing is. So I commend you for that, my brother.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't know about cross-marketing. That's how I know that you are a hustler in this game called filmmaking, right? So let's fast forward, because we only got 7 minutes now before we go in and review your film and head into the rest of the show. So let's talk about Amazon and your new piece, The West Coast, and American with triple K, American Dream, where you were drawn down upon by Stockton police while shooting a scene. So let's run through that real quick. You're setting up the
Yes.
It was very important. I guess that has to do with building relationships.
Yes.
Let's run through that. Let's talk about first what the West Coast and American Dream is about. It's on Amazon. When it debuted, they just give a little bit of the setup of what happened and when they can see that video.
Yes, it's the scene where that scene actually, a little girl was getting we were doing a drive-by scene and a little girl was getting shot because it's we're going with Stop the Violence, to put the guns down in this one and take, have a positive attitude. And we was filming that scene for the show that we're doing right now. We're shooting the first one like a movie, but it's going to be a series that they could watch. And what happened was we're filming and we say action, and when we say action, the police took action. They were standing behind us already when I said action. Right when I said action, they took action. So they knew who we were already. And there was no sirens. There was nothing around. And people don't know, I had already went and tried to hire the police to be on set that day for $50. Because of the movie Greedy, I hired police to be on set when we shot the gun in the movie. I had to hire the police to be there. So I couldn't even have the police on set here in Stockton. So I tried that to have them on set. And that's when they took action. They pulled their guns out, had beams on the kids, and I knew that they had to take time because we're people from the streets. We know about the police, and we know what guns you guys carry. And these guns were guns that you can't carry in your car. It was artillery with infrared, which means that they called in, grouped in, and told the people, and they have to take these guns out of lockers and get permission and do what they have to do to bring these type of weapons. Because these are military-style weapons that you're pulling out. And my mom's there yelling. Everybody's there yelling. I mean, it's not... Then I came back trying to talk to my district, the district leader. She wouldn't call me back, so I went and talked to the event coordinator because we don't have a film commissioner. You can't buy permits here. There's nothing. It's like the Wild Wild West here to film, and I'm trying to change all of that. I told him I'm gonna be the film commissioner. So the next thing I'm working on is being the film commissioner of Stockton, because we need that here, because we need permits so that nobody else will get shot. Because they stopped me again when I was filming. I was filming a police scene where the police are checking for guns, and they pull up on the actors and they're asking them for guns, but the police pull up on us again. But they let us go and told us that we're filming in a parking lot of a school, so we can't film in the parking lot of the school. We have to be on the street. So now we can't be on private. We could be on private property, not government property, not state property. They have all these different properties. So they need to have some rules and regulations for us here to know, because who wants to get shot by the police? And they showing up, and they coming deep, and they're very aggressive. And like at the end of that video, you can hear him saying, "Why didn't you guys call in? Why didn't you guys call in?" You can't even call in here. That's not even true. You can't call the police and say, "Hey, I'm shooting a movie. Hey, would you come watch me?" That doesn't work. He was just trying to protect himself because he didn't have anything else to say about why they were there when they shouldn't have been there, because they were so far away. They could have blew the horn on us and said, "Hey, what are you guys doing? We see you." But no, they drew down on us, and that's why we had lawyers calling us and a lot of different things and news people, because the way the police right now, they're very, very, very violent right now, and you don't know who to trust with them right now. I hate to say that, but you don't know who to trust with them.
It was very important because police are by these days. It's not the same as you see in the movie where you can negotiate, but you actually were able to negotiate.
Yes.
So that was a blessing.
Yes.
For your ability to have the camera on to catch it.
Yes.
In GS also. So within 2 minutes, we have exactly 2 minutes. Give us the synopsis of the West Coast, an American Dream, and where they can see it, what date it's going to premiere on Amazon.
The West Coast, an American Dream is a TV show based out of Stockton, California. And we're going to be premiering, we're going to have a premiere probably in February at the Bob Hope Theater in Stockton. And we're trying to get another theater at UOP, so we'll be there. But it's about reality and what's going on right now. We did something that was way different. We wanted to stick to the times, what's going on, to the immigration hold, to the gun violence, to people trying to make it out. But we kept it to where it's about putting your best foot forward, stop the violence, and I really don't want to get a hose I don't want to give the story away. I just want the people to go watch it, so I'm not telling the story. But it's about the immigration hold, stop the violence, put the gun down, change life, and inspiration, and trying to become somebody. And you'll be able to watch this next.
Go ahead. So it's an individual standalone.
Yes.
So it's an individual standalone episode, or is it a continuous story for 13 episodes? So
It's a 6-part episode. We'll be shooting 6 parts. So we just finished this first one, and it's getting edited right now. And it'll be done in about two weeks. So we'll be done with that one, and then we'll start probably in January on the 2nd episode. And it's a 6-part episode. But if anybody out there listening, if you know somebody at BET, Showtime, what's the other one? BET Plus. Which one?
Anything.
Any one of them that wants to give a production deal, I'm with production deals. What's that?
Okay, well, we would like to thank you, Keith, because the information that you gave today will help independent filmmakers. And if they want to get in contact with you, where do they reach out to you? Actors, other film crews that might want to join with you in case you come to different places. How do they get in contact with you?
You can go to Instagram, Keith Lea Movies, Twitter, Keith Lea Movies, Facebook, Keith Lea Movies, LinkedIn, Keith Lea Movies.
Say how you spell it.
And my last name is Lee, not Lea. It's Keith Lea Movies. So Lee is spelled my last name. It's pronounced Lea, but it's like Spike Lee. Yeah, it's like Spike Lee.
Okay. So we'd like to thank you, and we appreciate
Lea.
you, man.
I'm sorry.
And
Lea. I said my last name.
I know it's Lee.
Yeah, it's Lea. I'm sorry, people.
Calling up, man, and much success to you. We
Thank
can't
you.
wait to see the series, and stay tuned right after we get off the phone with you to listen to the review. You're going to be very happy with this review.
Thank you.
Too much already. So have a great evening, and we will speak again.
Okay, thank you, and bless both of you. It's definitely a pleasure working with you. And I want to say that you two being black people and being married is a blessing. And what you guys are doing is a gift for all of us, because we don't have a place to be able to speak our minds or tell anything. So what you guys are doing is a real blessing, and I wish God give you more blessings in 2020. And you guys keep going. Much success.
Thank you. You as well. Have a great evening.
You too. Bye.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, people, that was it. Lea is my last name. I messed up. I don't know why.
Someone said, "Man, you had me convinced you changed your name." Victor Jackson said that. Victor Jackson said that.
I showed you. I'm sitting here. When my name Lea was Lea, Instagram Lea, Facebook Lea, LinkedIn.
William said, "One love, big bruh. Good job, bruh."
Oh, one love, Will, one love. Thanks, bro. Thanks. I'm pushing hard. Next month we're doing a premiere, and thank everybody who was watching. And trust me, it's just a blessing to even be going this long in this, because it is. Man, it's just a blessing. All right, see y'all. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later.